I found out that this was a problem mainly because my friends are anime fans. I'm not one of, I'm not going to say who, but the many voice actors that, show up at conventions and act like a fan. I am a fan. My friends are fans. The people that I bowl with on the weekends run a convention in Houston. And so all of my friends that are fans, I noticed, were not buying anime at all a few years ago. They were downloading everything. They were downloading everything. And even shows that were available and licensed, and it was well aware that these products were licensed, fan subbers were continuing to do them for stupid reasons. The whole Databayo incident with Naruto. If you can't take issue with a company and not buy the product. The way, like I always say that about conventions. I love to see people on convention forums, because let's admit it, most forums are just drama club. Totally. And they're like, I hated anime Detour. They would not let me into the dance. Blah, blah, blah. And you find out later they didn't even have a badge to get in. And I'm like, really? And I always say, well, even if you did have a badge and you want to complain, you know what? Then volunteer. And if you're a part of the solution, then you can be a real part of the solution. And seriously, this is a great con. I mean, if you wanted to volunteer for a con, this is definitely the one to do it at. But my point is, with Naruto, people wanted to take issue with Naruto. They never even gave Naruto a chance because they already had it downloaded. And there is something to be said. When Sayuki first came out, there were a lot of changes made in Sayuki. In fact, some of them I say are my director's fault. Some of them I think were translational issues. But you know what? There's a whole generation of fans that didn't know the difference and that love that show, and because of that have bought Minekura's art books and have gone on to become, Alchemist fans or Inuyasha fans or whatever. But it did bring people into fandom. To just say, well, I hate what ADV did to, Sayuki, which, it really was, in some cases it was funnier. But in other cases, as a fan of that show, I had a problem with some things that got left out. But I would still not tell anyone, well, then don't buy it, just download it. Why? If I like Minekura, then I want money to go back to her at some point, correct? The only way money goes back to Japan is buying it from the US licensor. And buying it off of eBay is not usually the safest idea. Yeah. Yeah.
You can also go to Amazon.
You have to be really careful of Amazon.com. They've gotten in a lot of trouble lately for the secondary sellers.
AmazonJapan.com and buy the actual Japanese videos.
If you want to buy the Japanese videos, that's fine. There are trade and import restrictions on all that. But if you want to buy it and you think that buying it for a higher price and getting less is awesome, then by all means do it. But it's not that there's a huge quality difference between the American release. It's that maybe they get it a little bit faster than we do. But what I always tell people, that the one argument, and I'll get you in just one second, the one argument I always answer with a non-answer, as a fan, I understand instant gratification. As a guy, I understand instant gratification. But I know, that's way too early in the morning to make that joke. But I understand wanting what's hot in Japan, or what's cool, or what everybody's talking about. But you know what? I bet there are at least 10 people in this room that have not seen Boogie Pop Phantom. I bet even more than that, I bet there are people that love Watanabe but have never seen Dragon Half, which, oh my God, that was XL Saga before there was XL Saga. Or people that will quote South Park but have never seen Ping Pong Club. I love there's at least one Ping Pong Club fan in every audience. That's what I love. It gives me hope. But that being said, there is a world of legal anime that exists that you can watch, and it's all just as good. It's hard to make people watch old school stuff. What? Oh, shut up. It's hard. I have a hard time getting my friends to watch old school stuff because they're like, oh, that's ugly. And I was like, hey, back then we enjoyed our Dairy Queen hair on our Robotech, all people in space have afros. But there is a number, or there are a number of really wonderful series that are out legally released. FY, yeah, 12 Kingdom. I can think. I mean, I'll just start spitting them out because there are tons of good shows that a legion of FMA fans and Inuyasha fans that have grown up with free anime on TV don't know about. And I'm sorry, but if the only anime you watch is on Adult Swim, that's really not a fan. That's somebody that just, Adult Swim is their favorite channel. You know, I mean, to me, a fan is someone who actively pursues what they love, and by buying and contributing to the process that allows those artists to keep making things, then you really are a part of the industry. It's so funny because people always come up to me for an in on the industry. They want to be a voice actor, or they want to be a sound engineer or director, or they want to start their own manga. There's this need to be a part of this industry when we don't realize we are the biggest part of the industry. This is a fan industry. It's like Apple computers. Apple computers should have been dead ages ago. And those of you that have seen this panel have heard me say this a million times. But there are these retarded people that love Apple so much that they paid way too much money back in the 80s and would use nothing but Apple products. And now there are more iPods than CD players. I mean, and that's a true number. That's crazy. But Apple kind of owns it all now, as far as that's concerned. And we only have ourselves to thank for it. So it's kind of sad, and I promised you, and I'm going to get you, but it's kind of sad that we can also say that we're part of its destruction at this point, because we're the only thing that could really make a big difference.